Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders had an animated and heated conversation when they were looking at the film earlier today, and there's a clear disagreement as Jeudy is yelling and Shedeur Sanders is just turning away. It looks like he disagrees with what Jeudy is saying was off. Shedeur had 149 passing yards. He was 16 for 25 with a passing touchdown, but this was a big missed opportunity between Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders.
Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders are not on the same page. I'm not exactly sure what they're saying. I'm not a lip reader. If you are, maybe you can help me out. But it looks like they are having a very spirited debate and they are not seeing eye to eye. Shedeur didn't look all that great today. He looked okay. He had a touchdown. He had like 15 completions. I think it was like 150 yards. I can tell you right now, it looks like Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur are not on the same page. In this offense, it is very hard to properly judge Shedeur because all they do is run the fucking ball. I mean, Shedeur ran into a lot of unique looks from that defensive line. And I think they got to him like 3 times. And I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but the Browns O-line ain't that much better than the one he had at Colorado. You know, and what people got to understand is the Browns suck. They always suck. I mean, they got the best defense in the NFL and they still suck. But as it stands right now, this is the Browns offense. 100 carries from Juckins and the occasional deep ball that sometimes ends up going well for them. Now, before I let y'all go, watch this. Shedeur tries to connect with Jeudy right here. They're just obviously not on the same page. Look what he does. Look at his head. I don't like Jerry Jeudy.
Jimmy Haslam just witnessed something that has him furious with Jerry Jeudy, and Browns insiders are saying the owner is done watching his 5th-round investment get disrespected on national television. After Jerry Jeudy was caught on camera berating Shedeur Sanders on the sideline during the 49ers' loss, clapping in his face, standing over him, telling him, "That's wrong, that's wrong." Sources close to the organization say Haslam is asking some serious questions about why a $52 million receiver is attacking a rookie QB instead of catching passes. The stats are brutal. Jeudy has 4 catches, 2 drops, and 1 fumble in Shedeur's 2 starts, but he never came at Dylan Gabriel or Joe Flacco like this. And after Steve Smith called Jeudy just a guy years ago, it looks like the Browns owner is finally realizing he might have been right. What happened behind closed doors after this game is about to shock you.
Or the people that's watching at home when the cameras pick it up. Because the camera's going to pick it up. When you start doing this here, Ocho, and you start doing that, you already know the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's 375 cameras out there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, hold on. I didn't see that situation. I must have missed that.
Yeah, I think it was the start. I think it was the start of the 4th quarter, Ocho.
Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders had an animated and heated conversation when they were looking.
Jerry Jeudy, wasn't you the one that slowed down when you got that catch the other day and got that crazy fumble? Hey, my mans, relax. Is you cool?
Look, I'm going to tell you something that's happening in Cleveland right now that nobody is talking about. Jimmy Haslam didn't spend months defending the decision to draft Shedeur Sanders, fighting against national narratives, dealing with accusations that he forced Andrew Berry to pick him, watching people say Kevin Stefanski didn't want him, just to watch Jerry Jeudy destroy this kid's confidence on the sideline in front of 70,000 fans at Huntington Bank Field. Let me paint the picture for you, because this goes deeper than just a heated sideline moment. The Browns are down to the 49ers in the 4th quarter of Shedeur's 2nd career start. The rookie quarterback is sitting on the bench with offensive linemen, studying plays on the Microsoft Surface tablet, doing exactly what professional quarterbacks are supposed to do when they're trying to improve. And here comes Jerry Jeudy walking over with straight attitude, clapping his hands aggressively in Shedeur's face, leaning over him, and just going off. CBS cameras caught the whole thing. You can see Jeudy standing over Shedeur, barking at him, and when Shedeur tries to defend himself, because that's what competitors do, Jeudy keeps repeating, "That's wrong, that's wrong." Like he's the quarterback, like he's the one calling plays, like he has any right to talk down to the guy throwing him the football. Center Ethan Pocic literally had to step in and separate them. That's how disrespectful Jeudy got. A veteran offensive lineman had to play peacemaker because a $52 million receiver couldn't control his emotions.
Earlier saying that Shedeur Sanders has 2 starts, and those 2 starts, Jerry Jeudy has 4 catches, 2 drop passes, and 1 fumble. Through 10 games with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco, Jeudy had 28 catches and 8 drops, a lousy 2.8 catches per game average, and this is how he disrespects his QB. You know, is what somebody posted. And if you look at this specific play right here, they're saying that Shedeur overthrew Jerry.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Sources inside the Browns organization are saying that Jimmy Haslam saw that footage and immediately started asking questions. The owner who defended Shedeur Sanders' draft selection, who told reporters, if you'd have told me Friday night we were going to pick Shedeur, I would have said that's not happening, but Andrew Berry made the call, is now watching his quarterback investment get attacked by a receiver who can't even catch the ball. And you want to know what's got Haslam heated? The numbers don't lie, and they're embarrassing for Jerry Jeudy. In Shedeur Sanders' 2 career starts, Jerry Jeudy has 4 catches on 7 targets. That's a 57% catch rate. He has 2 dropped passes. He has 1 fumble. That ridiculous play last week where he caught the ball and got stripped from behind with 0 awareness. But through 10 games with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco as quarterbacks, Jeudy had 28 catches with 8 drops. That's 2.8 catches per game, which is lousy for your number 1 receiver. But here's the thing. We don't have any footage of Jerry Jeudy going at Dylan Gabriel on the sideline like this. We don't have footage of him clapping in Joe Flacco's face. We don't have footage of him disrespecting those quarterbacks when they were throwing bad passes. So why is he coming at Shedeur Sanders like this? Why is he targeting the rookie? Why is he attacking the 5th-round pick who Jimmy Haslam went to bat for? Let me give you some context about Jerry Jeudy that Browns fans need to understand. This dude has a history of not being able to handle criticism. Remember when Hall of Famer Steve Smith called him out? Let me remind you because it's legendary and it explains everything about Jeudy's character. A few years ago, Steve Smith was doing his podcast, Cut to It, and he talked about receivers who maybe hadn't shown up in the way people expected. The word Smith used to describe Jerry Jeudy was jag. Just a guy. Just an average wide receiver who was taken in the 1st round but wasn't producing like a 1st-round talent.
Something about Kevin Stefanski. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Try to trip him up, huh?
Sure. I mean, those 4th and 1, those 2 4th and 1s that didn't work. And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, it was a great call by my coach,
You like the aggression. Not you like the call, but do you like
I like being out there playing.
So when Steve Smith saw Jerry Jeudy in person, Smith tried to apologize face-to-face like a man. He said, "Hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry." That's class right there. That's a Hall of Famer being mature enough to address his criticism directly. You know what Judy's response was? He cursed at Steve Smith. He said, "I don't mess with you," and repeated it with profanity. Straight up disrespected a Hall of Famer who was trying to show him respect. And Steve Smith, being the absolute legend that he is, didn't back down. He went right back at Jeudy and said, "I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy, an average wide receiver that they used a 1st-round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple years since they drafted you." Then, Smith took it even further. He said, "When teams call me and ask should they trade for you, I will say no. Don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch football." Smith called him a Tier 3 receiver, not elite, not even good, Tier 3. And you know what? Steve Smith was right, because here we are years later and Jerry Jeudy is still showing that he can't handle adversity. He's still showing that when things aren't going well, instead of looking in the mirror, he wants to blame everybody else. Now let's talk about what really happened in that 49ers game, because the context matters. In the 1st quarter, Shedeur Sanders threw a deep ball to Jerry Jeudy that had a chance to be a touchdown. The ball was thrown downfield, Jeudy had a step on his defender, but the pass sailed just slightly out of reach.
Now, a lot of people are saying that if Jeudy had just kept running, the ball would have landed right in his hands in stride. Instead, Jeudy slowed down his route. And after the incompletion, you can see Jeudy on the sideline shaking his head like it was Shedeur's fault.
And if you look at this specific play right here, they're saying that Shedeur overthrew Jerry. A lot of people feel like if Jerry would have just kept running, the ball would have landed right in his hand in stride, and he would have been able to potentially go in for a score. And let's not forget, Jerry Jeudy, was it just last week, where he made that catch, and you can see right here, just no awareness, was stripped from behind.
But here's the thing. There was wind in that game. Shedeur himself admitted after the game that wind was a factor. He said, all quarterbacks know you got to cut through the wind whenever you throw. I was just calculated off. It was just a miss. It was just a missed shot. When I missed that shot, I got to stay on myself to keep shooting. That's accountability right there. That's a rookie quarterback taking responsibility for a throw that didn't connect. But where's Jerry Jeudy's accountability? Where's his admission that maybe he could have run his route better, that maybe he could have adjusted to the ball? Instead, Jeudy spent the whole game frustrated. 3 catches for 26 yards. That's all he produced. And then at the start of the fourth quarter, when the Browns are down and desperately need offense, Jeudy decides to walk over to Shedeur and start a confrontation. The play that upset Jeudy was a 3-and-out possession that gained just 1 yard. It concluded with Shedeur failing to connect with Jeudy on a mid-range route. And instead of letting the coaches handle it, instead of pulling Shedeur aside privately to talk through the play, Jeudy made it public. He made it a spectacle. He embarrassed his quarterback on national television. Now here's where Jimmy Haslam comes into this story. The Browns owner has been incredibly vocal about supporting Shedeur Sanders ever since the draft. When Eric Mangini and others suggested that Haslam forced the Shedeur pick on Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, Haslam went public to shut that down. He said, "We have a good process. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur." Haslam was defending his GM and defending the process, but he was also defending Shedeur by making it clear that the organization believed in him. Then in October, when Diana Russini from The Athletic asked Haslam about all the noise surrounding Shedeur Sanders and why he wasn't playing, Haslam said, "Listen, he's a serious football player. And inside the building, there's no noise. He comes to work every day just like everybody else, and he's trying to get better as a football player."
Protect them at all. And it's a shame because I feel like this Cleveland Browns defense is doing some amazing things. I mean, they're always right there in games. I think the game was lost today when the special teams receiver, when he fumbled the football right there, I believe it was like the 15-yard line or something like that after a punt. I said, oh, it's over now.
That's an owner standing up for his quarterback. That's an owner saying, I don't care what the media thinks. I don't care what the fans think. This kid is doing everything right inside our building. So imagine how Jimmy Haslam feels watching Jerry Jeudy, a guy making $52.5 million over 3 years with $41 million fully guaranteed, disrespecting that same quarterback on the sideline. The same quarterback Haslam has defended publicly multiple times. Sources are saying that after the game, Haslam had conversations with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski about the incident. He wanted to know why Jerry Jeudy felt comfortable attacking Shedeur like that. He wanted to know what the coaches were going to do about it. And he wanted to make it clear that this kind of behavior isn't acceptable in his organization. Because here's the reality. Jeudy is supposed to be the leader of that receiving corps. He's the veteran. He's the Pro Bowl player. He's the guy making the big money. But instead of lifting Shedeur up, instead of helping the rookie develop, instead of being a professional, he's tearing him down. And let's not forget, Jerry Jeudy has been awful this season. He's caught just 35 passes for 421 yards and 1 touchdown through 11 games. He leads the NFL with 9 drops.
9. That's not just bad, that's embarrassing for a receiver of his talent level. When the Browns traded for Jeudy from the Broncos, they only gave up a 5th and 6th round pick. That was a steal on paper. Then they gave him that 3-year, $52.5 million extension, and what have they gotten in return? Drops, fumbles, and attitude problems. One analyst from the Big Play Cleveland show said it perfectly. He's the most bar-none embarrassing wide receiver in the NFL right now. That's 8th grade football type stuff.
What did you see on those 4th and 1, those 2 4th and 1s that didn't work? And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, it was a great call by my coach,
Do you like the aggression? Like, do you like the call? Like, do you like?
I like being out there playing. so whatever that comes with, it comes with. We're not gonna be here.
And he's right. Because if you're Jerry Jeudy and you're struggling to catch passes, if you're leading the league in drops, if you fumbled last week with zero awareness, maybe you should focus on your game before you start attacking your quarterback. Now let's talk about what Shedeur said after the game, because this is what makes him special. After being disrespected on the sideline, after being attacked by his own receiver, Shedeur could have thrown Jeudy under the bus. He could have told reporters, yeah, he was wrong. He shouldn't have come at me like that. But you know what he did instead? He took the high road. He showed maturity beyond his years. When asked about the offensive struggles and his relationship with Jeudy, Shedeur said, when we got in certain passing situations and field position, everything like that, it wasn't the best. It was a comfort level. As players and teammates, we have to be able to gel with each other and be comfortable with each other in every situation. That takes time. This team is not going to be a microwave thing. Not going to be a microwave thing. That's wisdom right there. That's a rookie understanding that you can't just throw him into an offense and expect instant chemistry, especially when he spent months on the bench not getting first-team reps because Kevin Stefanski was playing Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. Then Shedeur said something even more revealing. Of course you want to get Jeudy the ball, but you got to understand it takes time. I'm more of a trust person. That's just what it boils down to. We have to spend time on task with all those guys and be able to trust and be able to see things at the same lens. Read between the lines on that quote. Shedeur is saying he doesn't fully trust Jerry Jeudy yet. And can you blame him? The dude fumbled last week. He's dropping passes left and right. He's not running routes to the right depth. And now he's attacking Shedeur on the sideline. Shedeur went even deeper when he said, a lot of time out there, passing-wise, we're not seeing everything at the same lens. Certain guys aren't in the same spot that we've seen in practice. That's a diplomatic way of saying receivers aren't where they're supposed to be. That's a polite way of saying my receivers aren't doing their jobs correctly. And guess who he's talking about? Jerry Jeudy. But even after all that, Shedeur still didn't throw Jeudy under the bus. When a reporter asked him about Kevin Stefanski's aggressive 4th down play calling, trying to get Shedeur to criticize his coach, he shut it down immediately. He said, first, that's a rude question to ask if I think it was a great call by my coach. I like being out there playing. We're not going to be here and point fingers at no coach or do anything like that. That's extremely disrespectful. That is leadership. That is how a franchise quarterback carries himself. Even when things are going wrong, even when you're getting disrespected by your own teammates, you don't create drama. You stay professional. You protect your team. And you know what? Jimmy Haslam is watching all of this. He's watching Shedeur handle adversity with class. He's watching Shedeur take accountability. He's watching Shedeur defend his coaches and his teammates, even when they don't deserve it. And then he's watching Jerry Jeudy act like a child, watching him attack the quarterback, watching him make excuses, watching him fail to produce on the field while collecting $52 million. Insiders are saying that Jimmy Haslam has already told Andrew Berry that changes need to be made, that the culture in Cleveland needs to be about accountability, not finger-pointing, that veterans need to act like veterans, not like spoiled divas who can't handle adversity. Some people are even suggesting that the Browns might look to trade Jerry Jeudy in the offseason. Because if you're Jimmy Haslam and you're paying a receiver $52 million to drop passes and attack your franchise quarterback, why would you keep him around?
Another part, what Shedeur can learn from this is you definitely have these wide receivers and they have this type of personality. I mean, you could look at some of the greater wide receivers that, have berated quarterbacks over there on the sideline. I mean, even if you look at what's going on with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, right?
The Browns have 5 games left in this season. Kevin Stefanski has already confirmed that Shedeur Sanders will start Week 14 against the Tennessee Titans, so Shedeur and Jeudy are going to have to find a way to work together. But the question is, can Jerry Jeudy put his ego aside? Can he actually be a professional and support his quarterback? Or is he going to continue this pattern of blaming everybody else when things don't go his way? Because if he keeps acting like this, Jimmy Haslam is going to make a decision, and it's not going to be in Jerry Jeudy's favor. Remember, this is the same owner who defended Shedeur Sanders when nobody else would. The same owner who said he's a serious football player when people were calling him a distraction. The same owner who backed the decision to draft him, even when it looked like Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski didn't want him. Jimmy Haslam has invested in Shedeur Sanders, not just financially as a 5th-round pick, but emotionally. He's put his reputation on the line for this kid. He's defended him publicly. He's made it clear that Shedeur is part of the Browns' future. So when Jerry Jeudy disrespects Shedeur on that sideline, he's not just disrespecting the quarterback, he's disrespecting Jimmy Haslam's vision for this franchise. He's disrespecting the culture the owner is trying to build, and that's not going to fly in Cleveland. The Browns' defense is playing incredible football right now. Myles Garrett is having an MVP caliber season with 18 sacks. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're keeping Cleveland in games despite having the 32nd ranked offense in football. But you can't win games when your veteran receivers are attacking your rookie quarterback instead of helping him succeed. You can't build a winning culture when your $52 million receiver is more worried about his stats than the team's success. And Jimmy Haslam knows that. Andrew Berry knows that. Kevin Stefanski knows that. The question is, does Jerry Jeudy know that? Or is he going to keep playing the victim, keep blaming everybody else, and keep proving Steve Smith right when he called him just a guy? Because right now, Jerry Jeudy isn't even living up to just a guy standards. He's playing like somebody who doesn't deserve to be on an NFL roster. And if he keeps disrespecting Shedeur Sanders, he might not be on the Browns roster much longer. Jimmy Haslam didn't build his business empire by tolerating people who tear others down instead of lifting them up. And he's not going to tolerate it in his football organization either. So Jerry Jeudy better get his act together, because the clock is ticking and the Browns owner has seen enough. Now let me ask you something. Do you think the Browns should trade Jerry Jeudy? Should they cut him? Or should they give him one more chance to prove he can be a professional? And more importantly, is Shedeur Sanders showing you enough to believe he's the franchise quarterback Cleveland has been searching for since 1999? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think Shedeur Sanders handled this situation with more class than Jerry Jeudy deserves, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're covering every moment of this Browns drama. This story is far from over, and something tells me Jerry Jeudy is about to learn a hard lesson about respect.